Hi, good day, it's me again, Jaycee, and welcome to Robot Show Tunes, my very own YouTube channel where I get to review Transformers toys, Voltes 5 toys, Macross or Robotech toys, Evangelion toys, and just about whatever else I may fancy. And now, we're going to look at New Age toys, the legendary heroes Beelzebul, a third-party Legends scale representation of Generation 1 Ramjet. Now, this Ramjet is part of a 3-in-1 Coneheads package, and since the three of them share the same basic mold, I'm mainly going to use Ramjet for demonstration, and in aspects that they are different, I will bring in the other two. So, now, for this and other way cool stuff, visit Hobby Korner in Shoppesville, Greenhills. Now, before we look at Ramjet himself, here is the box. The front, the back, one side, the other side, the top and bottom are, in fact, actually identical. Now, let's take a look at what you get inside. You get all three Coneheads packaged in alt mode, instructions, alternate pointy hands for each of them, alternate jazz hands for each of them, a pair of null rays for each of them, a pair of null ray attachments for each of them. There are slots for the null rays on the underside of each wing. You can just plug them in like so. You can also plug these concussion missiles / missile launchers / cluster bombs to the null rays. And then in turn, plug them on the underside of the wings. Take note that all these accessories are black, except for dirges, which are dark gray. Each of them has a pair of null ray blast effects. You can plug them to the tips of the basic null rays, but they wouldn't fit if the attachments were on. Each one also gets a pair of thruster blast effects. You simply plug them in like so. Each Conehead has its own display platform. On the underside is the arm attachment, 3 adapter pieces, this slim peg, this wider peg, this claw, and a pair of reinforcement parts for connecting with other display stands to form the space bridge. And lastly, you get these 4 orange-yellow blast effects for the New Age Autobots. Now with accessories out of the way, let's talk size comparisons. So here are the New Age Coneheads with New Age Megatron, with New Age Starscream, with New Age Shrapnel, with Takara Tomy Masterpiece Lambor or Sideswipe, and with Funko Pop Death of the Endless Let's Get Ramjet Transformed. And these other guys too. Now to transform Ramjet, first what you want to do is remove all the attachments. So that's the casing, the null rays, the blast effects. And if you have the landing gear extended, you fold them in. Actually, before folding in the rear landing gear, bring out the feet because they're slightly in the way. Once that's done, you untab the front ends of the wings and then bring them out of the way. Then straighten these again. So something like that for Ramjet. For thrust, it's simply just yanking these to the side. For dirge, it's Also the same, yanking these to the side, and then pulling these up, and keeping them there for now. Alright, the next steps are basically the same for all three of them. So once these wingtips are down and these feet are down, you just extend the arms to the side. Once they're like that, the forearm, orient them like this, and then close them up. From there, bring down this nose cone, cockpit, whatever, and then open this hatch so this can swing back here, and from there you extend the tip of the cone head, the cone head's cone head, and then rotate it 180 degrees like that. Once rotated, bring that back to the front. Push at these panels forward and down, then fold them out. So it's a forward and downward push to fold them out. When that's done, you split the nose cone in half. Split the nose cone in half, then fold those halves all the way back there. The cockpit breaks in two areas, so fold this in, fold this in. There are two tabs here that goes into the two slots there. You'll hear a snap like that. Fix up this chest, straighten out these intakes, and then from there open up these panels, break at this area, then fold, make sure that this hatch is closed, fold the backpack, and then tab this to there, then fold these panels like so, and then split the legs, open them up, and then bring out these stabilizing heels, and once those heels are up, fold the wingtip. There's a slot here, tab there, and then close. There's really a gap here, so don't freak out if you see this space. So yeah, that's open. That'll never close. So slot here, tab there. Okay, that's Ramjet. For thrusts, it's much the same. Bring these, straighten these out again, then fold. So that's slot here, tab there, fold. And once folded, close the leg. Dirge is slightly different. So what you do with dirge is you bring these, straighten these, and once that's straight, you push this forward like that. So grab and push, and then you bring these pieces up like that. Close the legs. This is the animation look, but you can also fold these down to hide them, or you can fold these slightly back, differentiate his look from the other two, but I'm sure in the animation they're also spread out like that. And here is thrust, dirge, ramjet. Now to complete the look, of course you attach the null rays to the arms. If you want to further differentiate the cone heads from the original Seekers, you attach the case or the attachments. And there you have the New Age Coneheads in robot mode. Now let us move on to articulation. Alright, articulation. Now for ease of demonstration, I'm gonna remove his weapons. Now the head is on a ball peg that sits on a vertically rotating platform, and you can turn it 360 degrees, but with some clearance issues, it can tilt this far up and this far down and this far side to side. The shoulder is on a ball peg, and the arm can extend up to there and can swing 360 degrees. The elbow is a ball peg hinge combination. You can rotate the forearm 300. If you can keep it closed, you can rotate the forearm 360 degrees and bend at the elbow 90 degrees. The wrist can swivel 360 degrees. The waist can swivel this far to this side, this far to that side. You have T-jointed ball joints that allows for straddle splitting, and you can have him do grand jetés. Just be mindful of the leg kibble. You have this crotch hinge that acts like some sort of ab crunch, and so he can hunch over. Oh, never really explored this. That's almost 90 degrees. Actually, I think it is 90 degrees. You have thigh swivels, gives you 360 degrees. You have single hinge knees, gives you 90 degrees. And you have ankle rockers that rock this far in for this foot. The range on the other foot is slightly limited because there's a tab here, so the rocking is only up to there. And you have a foot hinge for transformation, so that's all the way down, goes all the way up like that. Well, that's it for articulation. Let's move on to size comparisons in robot mode. So, once again, here are the New Age Coneheads with New Age Megatron, with New Age Starscream, with New Age Shrapnel, with Takara Tomy Masterpiece Lambor or Sideswipe, and with Funko Pop Death of the Endless. Let's wrap things up with my final thoughts. Alrighty, my final thoughts. Now, in the cons column, the Coneheads' bigger heads are harder to conceal in alt mode compared to the original Seekers. There's also a lack of clearance folding up the backpack for robot mode, and rather, there is the lack of clearance folding up the backpack for robot mode may be problematic for Dirge and Thrust because they have paint apps on their backs. Now, you may find the gaps in the legs unsightly. These figures are not as back heavy as the original Seekers, so the stabilizing heels may be overkill. Now, some collectors just opt not to fold those stabilizing heels out as to eliminate the leg gaps. And despite the cut at the back of the head, the Coneheads actually still can't look up. Very much like the Seekers, the original Seekers, the Coneheads cannot look straight up. Now, Dirge's smaller wings, in the tune, they are level with his hips, and I don't think New Age's solution to that really works. I wish they could have engineered Dirge in such a way that the small wings are connected to the hips, and it can separate from the large wings, which are connected to the legs. Now, pros, on the other hand, they've got tune-accurate silhouettes, colors, and awesome facial expressions, and because they're not back heavy, they're more stable, like I said, than the original Seekers. Though there are more points in the cons column than in the pros, I think those pros have more weight to them. So final word for me, this is still a definite recommend. A definite recommend from me. Anyway, that's all for today's tune. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to this channel and like Robot Show Tunes on Facebook if it so please you. Again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, see you at the theater.